Polo's in our little unit so we can finish it off without worrying about the weather or having the daylight. I really hadn't thought this far ahead and the unit was not ready to have a car in. Before we can get on to any of the work, I had to move a load of stuff out to give us a little bit of room just so we can work on the car. And I'm planning to sort it out properly once the car's done, so for now, this will have to do. Now we can get back to working on the car. Today I wanted to get all the interior back in, so first off I'll give it a hoover and a wipe down so everything's nice and clean and I can start getting the underlay and the carpets back in place, which is a nice easy job as the underlay is in one big piece for the front 2 footwells and then just a little square in each of the rears. Next we can get the carpet in, which is in one big piece and it's pre-formed so it fits straight back in, but I did have to take a few minutes shuffling it about to get it to sit perfectly and to tuck it in all the corners. Then I started getting all the plastic trim in the footwells and the centre console back in, and then I quickly realised I'd made a massive schoolboy error. When all these trims were being taken out, we put all the screws in a pot so that they were safely in one place, but then there's slightly different types of screws for different bits of trim, so I spent more time working out what the correct screws were than I did actually fitting the trim. After that I jumped on to getting the rear cards clipped back in and getting this thin piece of trim that covers the edge of the carpet back in, and as there's no more to be done in the back of the car, I can get the rear seats back in, which the backrest just latches either side at the bottom and the top, and the seat base just hooks on at the front and then it folds back down, and that's them done. Now we can jump onto the front door cards, which has a little bit more involved, with the handles going on first and hooked back onto the rod that goes back to the lock. Then the door card itself can go on and we can plug the switch in for the electric mirrors and put the 2 bolts back through the door card that actually bolt it to the door and put the window winder back on. Lastly, the front seats can go in and they just slide in the runners from the back and a little nut and bolt at the front, and that is all the interior back in. And I know the front seats aren't clean yet. I've just got to get the spot wash off Dad and I'll get them cleaned, and I do still need to clean down the dash and all the door cards and trim and stuff, but I feel like it actually looks like a complete car again. And now I have a 2-week deadline to have the car finished, get the raffle started on like the 17th of this month, but until then I need to crack on and put the hours in to do all the clay barring and the polishing to make it look as good as possible.